In 2023, I was fortunate to visit Switzerland twice, once on vacation and the second time for a work trip. And both times, this beautiful country left me feeling in absolute awe of its natural charm and beauty. On my first trip, I was traveling with my wife Afra, and we did a road trip from Geneva while exploring pretty much every tourist destination along the way. This time around, the start of my trip was from Zurich, and while I was busy with work for most of my stay, I managed to explore the city of Lucerne, Engelberg, and Stanserhorn, a mountain overlooking the village of Stans. If you're new to our channel, my name is Warfan. My wife Afra and I started vlogging this year on our travels across the world, and we both wanted to relive our adventures and help other people plan their own trips as well. So we hope you enjoy our vlogs, and that you come back for more in the future. Visiting Switzerland on a work trip. I came here on Sunday and I have been busy with work, and it's now Thursday. Thursday and Friday are the 2 days where I have some time to myself, so I'll be checking out Lucerne just on my free time, taking the train there. It's about a 40-minute train ride from Horgen Oberdorf, where I am. Since this was a work trip, I didn't have much time to go out and explore, but being so close to Lucerne and some other amazing spots, I didn't want to waste this opportunity. On my last 2 days, I made a plan to explore as much as I possibly could, starting with the city of Lucerne. Around, the weather is actually a lot better. The last time we came, it was actually all cloudy, and you couldn't see the mountain in the back, but today it's a lot better. Our last trip was in May, and it was a rainy one. This time I got some sunny weather, which I was loving. This town is just beautiful. There's so much to see. There's mountains all around you, and the water is just beautiful. I'm gonna go back to the Chapel Bridge like last time. When I visited the Chapel Bridge in May, it was mainly being used as a shelter from the rain. This time around, it was not as crowded, and it looked beautiful with the sunshine and blue waters of Lake Lucerne. So it's actually interesting because last time when it was raining, this bridge was a lot crowded. I think now people are actually doing other activities, so I feel like I have the bridge to myself. It's pretty nice. With no specific plan, I strolled around the old city of Lucerne, enjoying its brick roads, medieval clock towers, and other historical landmarks. I eventually found my way to the Kornmarkt, which is a 13th century plaza, and it was once a center for trade and commerce. After exploring both the old city and the newer parts of Lucerne, I headed back to the train station, to a familiar place. I got my dinner at Cafe Istanbul, which I also visited back in May, and I thought their food was decent. Okay, I got my wrap, and funny thing is, I think the guy actually remembered me from last time. So I was talking to him and he kept saying that he remembers me from the internet, and he made me write down where I'm from, but yeah, I had an interesting interaction. But I'm gonna have my dinner and probably call it a day afterwards. After dinner, I headed back to my hotel in Waddensville and decided to check out the waterfront before calling it a day. I had dinner at the Lucerne station. Before I head back, I just wanted to show you guys the waterfront by Lake Zurich here. I'll have to come back here during sunset tomorrow because this looks absolutely beautiful at around sunset time. Oh, and someone actually just jumped into the lake for a swim. And there's actually a dock here, so you can actually take the ship across the lake to the other side of the lake, which is called, I believe, the Golden Coast. It's one of the most expensive areas of Zurich. Okay, I'm done here. I'm gonna head back and call it a day. It's about 9:30, close to 10 almost. And this is the bus stop where you can catch the bus right after hopping off the train. And I'm just walking towards my hotel now. That was the end of Thursday. The next day I had a lot more time because it was a weekend, and I could stay out and explore for much longer. On Friday, I visited the Alpine village of Engelberg, and I also went on top of the Stanserhorn, both activities that I highly recommend to anyone. Today I am in Engelberg. It's a Swiss alpine village that I am very excited to explore. So today technically is my last day in Switzerland. I'm actually taking the plane tomorrow morning at 1 p.m. Really, it's my last day to explore, so I thought I'll hit an Alpine Village up. You know, if you were to do Mount Titlis, which I think is the tourist attraction here, that takes you all the way up to that mountain there, I believe. Located about an hour away from Lucerne by train, Engelberg is surrounded by mountains. It's also the starting point for the Mount Titlis cable car, which is a very popular tourist destination. See, the good thing about having a car is that you can actually travel to all these places without having to worry about bus timings. For example, I want to go to a cable car that's like 20 minutes away from here, but I have to wait an hour for the train. But I plan to explore this town completely in the next 45 minutes or so. Oh, wow, that is beautiful. And it looks like there's some sort of outdoor patio restaurant here. I have no idea where I am right now. It's like a random road and there's, you know, houses here, some farms. So if you actually took the Titlis cable car up, or train, I think it's a cable car, there's actually a way to come down. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like a mountain cart kind of thing. You can come down from the mountain using that. Pretty cool. It is so quiet here that, you know, I feel like I'm speaking at a regular volume, but it feels loud. And that view, it's incredible. I've reached a dead end here on the street, so I'm gonna head back that way, which I think is the way to the train station. Next, I'm gonna take the train to a town called Dallenville, and from there you can take a cable car up to the mountains. So yeah, just a few pointers. If you come here early, and I couldn't because I was working, you can actually take a cable car up to Mount Titlis. That's one of the main tourist attractions here, and that's what this town is known for, but I just wanted to see this place regardless. So correction, it was not Dallenville that I had to go to. I had to go to the town of Stans. I just arrived by train to Stans, and I'm going to a cable car station where it'll take me up to the Stanserhorn. The next stop for me was the city of Stans. Stans is located at the foothills of the Stanserhorn, or the mountain of Stans. There's a cable car service called the Cabrio, which takes you from Stans all the way to the top of the Stanserhorn. This part of the journey is actually on a funicular railway that dates back to the 18th century. This takes you up to the cable car station, where you can then take the Cabrio to the last station on top of the mountain.
It's also Lake Lucerne.
Oh, okay.
So when you hike to the top,
yeah,
you'll see how it connects. From here it looks like two distinctly different lakes.
Okay.
But it's all contiguous. It has all these tentacles.
Is it a strenuous hike up to the
summit? No.
Okay.
No. Takes me between 20 and 60 minutes round trip.
Okay, I can do that.
You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy. Oh, you're there, Birkenstocks. Maybe
should be
not.
okay, I think.
Yeah, well, there's steps. It's gravel and steps.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you decide.
Yeah, I'll see.
You can also walk a little stretch and decide whether you want to go.
The Cabrio is a two-story cable car with an open deck, similar to an old-fashioned cabriolet, and you can enjoy incredible views of Lake Lucerne and the surrounding cities in an open-air setting. I found this attraction on Google, and this was definitely the highlight of my trip. I actually didn't know about the Stanserhorn until the night before I visited. This is one of the cable cars that runs late in the evening, and that's why I chose to go there. The rest of the cable cars usually stop operating around 5 p.m, and I was glad that I found this one. There's also an option to have a candlelight dinner at the top of the Stanserhorn, and you can take the cabriolet down until 11 p.m. at night, which is really convenient. Stanserhorn is a bit of a hike from here, so we're gonna go for a hike. We are almost at the top of the Stanserhorn, which is the mountain of Stan. On the train ride up, the lady conductor was very kind. She told me she's lived in Boston for 30 years. So I was speaking to her the whole time, and she was telling me about the history of the Cabrio, which is the name of the cogwheel train that came up here. And basically that's just short for cabriolet, which means convertible, and that's because the cable car that we took up here is actually topless. This might be the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in my life. Okay, here's the top. That is the place where we came from on that hike. So, the sun is just about to set. That mountain peak right there is Mount Pilatus. When I came to Switzerland last month, actually, it was raining so much that the entire mountain was actually covered in clouds. So there wasn't much visibility. So I was actually really bummed out about the fact that we didn't get to go on Mount Pilatus. But, this here is almost the same altitude as Mount Pilatus, and I think it's a bit cheaper as well. It was about 37 francs for a return ticket. So I'm gonna find a quiet spot where I can just sit down and look at the view, wait for the sun to go down because it's almost down, and then call it a day. That's my day. That's my trip in Switzerland. Oh, I have the perfect view right here. Oh yeah.
And that was it for our international travels for 2023, but we still had a few local adventures here in Canada. In our upcoming vlogs, we'll show you how we spent the rest of our summer and fall, including Afra's first time going camping at Pinery Provincial Park, and yurt camping at Bruce Peninsula National Park. So we hope you stick around and join us on our next adventures.